Hello, this is Gort. The US Open 2025 draw has been released. Unlike the previous two tournaments, sections 1 to 4 appear to have easier paths to the upper rounds compared to the other sections. This makes me think Sinner's chances of winning back-to-back US Opens have increased. For this prediction, I'll only go up to the sectional winners, the round of 8 lineup. After all, I'll need to make another prediction once the first week is over. Alright, let's dive in. The top seeds are Sinner and Paul. On Sinner's side, I expect Sinner to advance smoothly. Paul's side looks like it will be very competitive. With Paul's recent dip in form, Bublik's consecutive titles in his last two tournaments, Silik's performance at Wimbledon, Sonigo, who performs better in big tournaments, and Borges, it wouldn't be surprising to see any of them advance. However, whoever comes through, I don't see anyone capable of beating Sinner. I predict Sinner as the winner. The top seeds are Musetti and Draper. Musetti hasn't recovered his form since Roland Garros, so barring any major upset, I think Cobolli will compete for the sectional winner spot. On Draper's side, unless something unexpected happens, Draper should advance, though his lack of singles tournament experience since his Wimbledon injury is somewhat concerning. However, considering the draw, it looks like it will be a battle between Cobolli and Draper. These two players have no head-to-head history. I predict Draper's victory, as hard court is his preferred surface. The top seeds are Zverev and Rublev. I expect this section to also come down to the top seeders. Rublev has shown some inconsistency recently and could fall out in the middle rounds, but if that doesn't happen, I expect these two players to compete for the quarterfinal spot. With Zverev having the superior head-to-head record, I predict he'll win and advance to the quarterfinals. The seeds are Khachanov and de Minaur. Once again, I expect a battle between the seeders. In the past, Cerundolo and Tsitsipas would have been considered contenders, but their current form doesn't make them competitive, I think. Considering Khachanov's superior head-to-head record and his consistent improvement in recent results, I judge him to be somewhat superior to de Minaur, who won the title in Washington. I predict Khachanov will advance to the quarterfinals. The seeders are Djokovic and Rune. On Djokovic's line, Korda, who's suddenly emerging in Winston-Salem, could be seen as competition, but I think Djokovic will smoothly advance to the round of 16. The other side is Rune's line, where I think Rune will face challenges in the first and third rounds. It will be difficult to guarantee a win against Zandschulp, who's been in good form recently. The third round opponent is TFO. While his recent form has been terrible, considering his US Open record over the past 3 years, 2 semifinals, 1 quarterfinal, he's definitely not an easy opponent. I predict Djokovic versus Rune or TFO in the round of 16, with Djokovic as the winner. The seeders are Mensik and Fritz. Considering Fritz's recent form, I expect him to comfortably settle into the round of 16. Mensik's line is practically wide open. I don't see anyone particularly outstanding. Even if I had to pick someone, I can't easily point to anyone. Whoever faces Fritz, I predict Fritz's advancement to the quarterfinals. The seeders are Shelton and Ruud. Shelton should advance smoothly to the quarterfinals as long as he doesn't face Mannarino. Mannarino has been in decent form recently and holds the superior head-to-head record. He won in Miami and Australian Open, but lost recently in Toronto. I'm curious who will win this potential matchup. On Ruud's line, I think it will be Lehecka versus Ruud, but considering Ruud's recent performance, it wouldn't be surprising if he falls out at any point. I expect Shelton or Mannarino versus Lehecka or Ruud, with Shelton, who's been in the best recent form, as my final quarterfinalist. The seeders are Medvedev and Alcaraz. This is Medvedev and Bonzi's third Grand Slam first-round meeting. Bonzi won both previous encounters, most recently at Wimbledon. I predict another first-round exit this time too. The seeded player might set a remarkable record of first-round exits at every Grand Slam this year. On Medvedev's line, I predict victory for Davidovich-Fokina, who's been in the best recent form. Alcaraz's line doesn't seem to have any notable competitors. In the matchup between Davidovich-Fokina and Alcaraz, I think Alcaraz will take the match. Predictions always seem obvious once you make them. However, there are always variables everywhere, and the resulting unpredictability is what creates interest for many people. I thought the bottom half would be relatively more difficult, but after picking the expected quarterfinalists, it doesn't seem particularly so. To enlighten my ignorance, please pick your quarterfinalist predictions. I look forward to many comments. Thank you for watching.